The Kremlin denies it ordered the killing of Prigozhin. As we head into the weekend, the mystery surrounding the potential death of Wagner leader Yevgeny Prigozhin remains. Russia has branded allegations that it ordered his killing a complete lie, but officials there continue to refer to him in the past, including Vladimir Putin. The Russian leader's spokesman Dmitry Peskov refused to say if the Kremlin knows for certain whether Prigozhin was on board a plane that went down near Moscow. On Wednesday, we do now know that 10 bodies and a black box were recovered at the crash site, according to Russian authorities, but who they are is yet to be confirmed until there is official confirmation of Prigozhin's death. It seems the mystery and confusion will only intensify. Thanks for following today's coverage, which was written by Antoinette Radford, Oliver Slow, Joel Guinto, East Goksadev, and Adam Durbin. It was edited by Matt Murphy, Sam Hancock, Dulcie Lee, and Nathan Williams. You can continue to follow our coverage with our main story here. And here is our piece on what happens to Wagner after the presumed death of its leader. While we've just had confirmation that Russian investigators have found the plane's flight recorders, more information about the cause of the crash is unlikely to be available immediately. These so-called black box devices, which are, in fact, often orange in color so they can be more easily found in plane wreckage, contain a huge amount of flight data that will need examining by experts. They also contain audio recordings from the cockpit, allowing investigators to hear what the crew were doing shortly before a crash. So all that will take time to analyze. Moreover, identifying bodies after a severe accident like a plane crash can be very slow, as DNA testing takes time, and those who died suffered from significant trauma from the impact or fire after a crash. So while the Russian authorities may have told us the bodies and black boxes have been located, that does not mean we will hear more from them anytime soon. Whenever the Kremlin denies something, you should assume it's true. Bill Browder, an American investor and prominent critic of the Kremlin, said he believes that Vladimir Putin was responsible for bringing down the plane that killed Yevgeny Prigozhin. Whenever the Kremlin denies something, you should assume it's true, he tells BBC News, saying the Russian government had denied involvement in the shooting down of Malaysia Airlines Flight 17 in 2014, the murder of former Russian spy Alexander Litvinenko, and the Salisbury poisoning. So when they come up with these lies, the first thing you should do is look at the opposite, he says. Browder, who has described himself as Putin's #1 enemy, says Prigozhin angered the Russian leader by challenging his power when he launched his short-lived mutiny in June. Putin's a dictator. Nobody is allowed to challenge him. The way that he has succeeded in staying in power is by showing everyone that if you do anything that's a challenge to his power, anything disloyal, that bad things will happen to you. Terrible things will happen to you, he says. More details from Russian investigators now, who say that DNA testing is being carried out on the 10 bodies to determine their identities. The flight recorders, often referred to as a plane's black box, have been taken, so data can be extracted for analysis. Russia's investigative committee confirmed in a post on the Telegram messaging service. A forensic investigation of the crash scene between St. Petersburg and Russia's capital Moscow is ongoing, while other key documents and evidence have also been seized as part of the inquiry. Authorities added